Hello my lovely people. Today I wanted to show you how to translate a sketch to a scrapbook page. Now this particular sketch is by Laura Rumble and from the Love of Pretty Paper Facebook group that I'm using, and what I've done, I've pulled out a chunk of papers that I think would work well together. It's nothing fancy about them, nothing strange, just I think they'll work well together, and I'm going to cut the embellishment papers into 2x2 squares. Now I like the look of the yellow background, so I've kept the yellow for the background and everything else I'm cutting into 2x2. They're all the same size as the photos, and the photo I've already prepped. I've taken a 4x6 photo and I've cut that down to what was 6x2, and then I've cut the 6x2 into 2x2. So it's originally from a 4x6 photo. I'm going to ink the edges of these bits of paper, these 2x2 bits of paper, just purely to help them be a bit more cohesive and blend in together, because they're all from different brands, they're from different manufacturers, different backgrounds, so I want to just give them a little bit of cohesion, and the inking of the edges helps me to do that. So with a sketch, you don't have to take it as face value. You can, which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm playing around with the shapes, playing around with where things could go, and seeing what I like and what I don't like. And I'll continue to do that. Sometimes I'll think the background paper's wrong and I'll change things up a bit. Other times I'm happy with it and I'll stick it down. Now this, I wasn't comfortable with the way it was looking, and I wasn't sure whether it was the background paper or something else. And also the photos were starting to merge into the back. So what I've done, I've taken a nail file and I'm just running that around the edge of the photograph, and that just gives it a slight white border which helps them pop out a little bit. And if you go really overboard, it gives a slightly stressed look. And again, I wanted to start to bring those photos forward a bit further, so I've pulled out some other papers just to see what it'll look like. It's just testing, and in this case I don't like the two extras I pulled out, so I'm back to that yellow piece. I didn't feel that the diagonal was working well for me, so I've gone for a vertical line, and as you will see in just a moment, I decided to turn this into a horizontal line, still with a ton of squares on it. There we go, but you know, just slightly different. The paper, the photos need a little bit of extra help, otherwise they start to blend in the background. It's a very busy background because of the different types, the different patterns on the paper that I'm using. So I've matted them on to two of those 2x2s, and as you'll see in a bit, I put them on some more 2x2s. Right now I'm just getting the background stuck down. There's nothing precise about this. I'm just chucking these bits on and putting them in different places where I think they'll look good. There's no symmetry to it, there's no rhyme, there's no reason particularly. I'm still leaving some of the background uncovered, so it's not fully covered by this 2x2s. Some of the papers are hidden completely by the end of this, others aren't. And it's just to get that background up and running. Now I want the photos to pop, so I'm going to use foam dots to help me do this. I'm still not happy because they are still falling into the background, so they do need something else. So I've matted them on some craft background, and once they're on the craft background, I'm still not happy with it. So I've pulled out a bit of tissue paper. This is just white tissue paper, nothing difficult, nothing rocket sciencey about it. It's white tissue paper, and I'm going to stick these down to the white tissue paper, so they're slightly out of alignment. I'm not a big one for symmetry, and the foam dots have no stick left, so I've actually glued them down. Now I can take a step back and just look at what I have where, what squares I have where, and I can add a few more, which I've decided to do, and then just neaten up the edges so that I can see the full piece. Next, I like to run through my alphabets and embellishments, so I just pull out alphabets I think might work, stickers I think might work, ephemera that may or may not work, and I'll just run through it. Sometimes it's just a gut instinct of yay, nay, yay, nay. Other times it's maybe, maybe not, and sticking on and taking off. I'm just going to do a few clusters of embellishments here. In this particular instance, I've used stickers. really simple to get a hold of, nothing particularly fancy. They're stickers. And I'm just adding them into little areas that it just seems to work, just feels good. And I'm going to keep the embellishment very much within the 2x2 squares. I don't want to really come out of that because there's a lot going on in that page. So if I leave that white space, or in this case yellow space, I stand a really good chance of keeping things in cohesion so it doesn't look like I have thrown everything at the paper. I've added a few stars here and there. These are all by Studio Calico. They're really, really old ones. I've had them for years. And as you see, I'll come back to those cork chevrons as well. Bit of washi tape. This is Pink Paisley, one of the Paige Evans ones. And then I'm going to add my title. Now in this case, this is actually a wedding photo of one of my really good friends, and it's a group of us. None of us would call ourselves responsible adults, and the photo I actually used is us all pulling different faces. So the title is Responsible Adults? Question mark, because we don't describe ourselves in that way. Now, I've got a couple of areas for the title, and I'm going to keep it, like I said before, within those squares and just get it stuck down. I've got some nice lines that will help keep the letters grounded so they don't look just randomly thrown. And none of my projects would be finished without an enamel dot or two. I love enamel dots. They feature on pretty much everything I do nowadays. I don't know why. I just think they're amazing. And that's very much it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do hope you enjoyed watching me change this sketch into a scrapbook page. Please subscribe. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, over at the blog, everywhere. I'm Inky Paws Art, or www.inkypawsart.com. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.